HART Sapphire Series 2021, Round 8, Game 4, coming to you live from Nissan Arena. My name's Dave Mills, joined in commentary by former Jets super shooter Lucy Benjamin. Today, we've got the USQ Jets taking on the Wildcats. It's 2nd versus 6th. Jets flying high, Wildcats trying to claw their way back into the competition. Thoughts on this one?
I think it's actually going to be quite a close game. The Wildcats really pushed the Jets last time they played, and they're a young team. They're developing throughout the competition. I think they're just going to improve game to game.
Indeed. So we'll look at the ladder. Cougars, they are 8 from 8, just ripping up the team at the moment. QUT's jumped into 2nd with their win yesterday, and as a result, the Jets will need this win to get back into 2nd place. Jets 6-1, Cougars 8-0, and QUT are 6-2 themselves. If you go down to the Wildcats, they're 1 win, 1 draw, and 5 losses. There is the ladder. So that is a live ladder, includes all the games that we had yesterday, and we had 3 of them. And it was QUT over the Thunder, Cougars over the Mendy Rays. That was a scoreline that blew out in the last quarter. It was a lot closer than that. And, of course, the Tigers took care of the Bond Bull Sharks. So it's getting congested around that sort of 3 and 4. So this game, very important, Lucy.
Yeah, it is. And, you know, the Jets have been really strong throughout the season. They were quite clearly in 2nd place. You know, the only team they've lost to is the team on the top of the ladder. This is, you know, this 2nd round is where they assert that dominance.
So there's the lineup for the Jets. Charlie Bell, shooter. She's been there all year. Beryl Friday, the goal attack. Brooke Hams is the wing attack. The centre, McKeely Hock. Siobhan Sherlaw is the wing defence and captain. Bridie Condren, the goal defence. That's a late change. Abby Houston has gone to goal defence. Bridie Condren to goalkeeper. Caitlin Pollock. Steph O'Brien, surprisingly, on the bench. And Lily Cubby there as well. Coached by Tracy Jeans Fraser. The assistant is Nicole Grant. And Ashley Pollock is the manager. Let's go with the Wildcats. Here they come. Amaris Toya, she's got into the starting team and has stayed there. She's been there the last couple of weeks. Josephine Bingham, very impressive last couple of weeks. She's a goal attack. Donnelly, the wing attack. Baird, the centre. Brittany Mould, the captain and wing defence. Hallie Geyer is the wing defence. And Hallie Geyer is the goal defence. Liliana Rennie, the goalkeeper. Leaving a bench of Ali War, Madison Fallon, and Hannah Blackler. Now, Megan Lynch is the coach of that. She's a former Jet. You know all about that.
She is, yep.
Assistant is Corinne Robinson, and Marin McCulloch is the manager. We're only a minute away from the start of this match, and before we get underway, we'd like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which this great game is taking place, the Turrbal, the Jagera people, and pay our respects to the elders past, present, and emerging, and extend that respect to any Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people watching today. So, the thoughts for this one?
Yeah, like I said, I think the Wildcats are growing throughout the season. Probably, you know, tough couple of losses, tough draw as well. I think they're going to push the Jets, but, you know, the Jets have really found their form the last few weeks as well, and I think they'll take it out in the end.
So, we're not sure. Jets are already on court. They're in the green. They will be going right to left of your screen. The blue and red of the Wildcats. Kelly Finlay and Carly Farthing are the umpires for this one. And everything's in position. We're just waiting for those set umpires. What's the margin?
I'm going to say Jets by 15.
Yeah, I'm the same. I think Jets are going to win and win convincingly. They are in exquisite form. They lost to the Cougars round 3, and since then they have been magnificent. They're going for 5 straight. So it should be an interesting game, but Jets for me as well. So McKeely Hock gets us underway.
Really lovely first centre pass there for the Jets. So easy down the court, straight into Beryl Friday over the top, and she finishes it off.
So she gets the first one for the Jets. They're away early. Wildcats looking to reply. And Brianna Gregory, normally one of their shooters, out today, replaced by Hannah Blackler due to tonsillitis.
Tonsillitis?
Yes, tonsillitis.
There you go.
So, which apparently is better than COVID. So
yeah, that's true, actually.
So go with the tonsillitis every day of the week. So, Charlie Bell.
So we saw a turnover there for the Jets. Oh, sorry, picked up really nicely there by Baird. Back in the hands of the Wildcats.
Wildcats looking to respond to this first goal of the Jets. McKeely Hock nearly got a hand on that one.
Yeah, great tip there from Bridie Condren. Was an obstruction call right on the edge of the circle. Offside, I believe, sorry. picked up well there. A bit of a confusing play there. Picked up by McKeely Hock. The Jets play on. There's no use waiting for the umpire's call if it's not coming.
And Brookie Hams with it in the middle. Looks down. Beryl Friday, exquisite feed into Charlie Bell.
Charlie hesitant to shoot that.
Outside of range, perhaps?
A little bit. I think she often likes to settle in early in the game, get a few easy shots under the post before she starts going for long bombs, which is smart play, to be fair. But
Absolutely. As a coach, that's what you want. So Beryl's going to take this one. She'll probably pass off. And does. Charlie, a little bit far from home, fires it up the top. A nice triangle offense there, Lucy B.
That was great work. Great vision from Charlie Bell and real well set up, I should say, by Beryl and eyes from Brooke Hams.
Use your words.
I'm trying.
Use your words.
Okay.
So the Jets get the first two. They lead 2-0 in the first two.
And a lovely hold there, lovely vision from Beryl Friday, giving it straight into Charlie Bell, and it is 3-0 to the Jets.
Jets not doing anything spectacular, but they're pulling away early. And just some solid play from them at the moment. This could be another turnover here. No, saved. Good job there from the, I think that's Guy, the goal defence. It is. Mold's calling for it, doesn't get it. Josephine Bingham being done a ton of work the last couple of weeks I've seen her play.
Great tip there from Sherlaw. Just got a finger on it, was picked up by the other Jets defenders, and they have yet another opportunity here. And this is like you were saying, the Jets aren't doing anything spectacular, but they play consistently and they play hard. And, you know, the youth of the Wildcats will really struggle to match that.
It's the Cougar way, isn't it? Like we've had a couple of games where the Cougars have played, and they've done nothing special, but before you know it, you're down by 20.
Yeah.
And that Jets are becoming that team, which is great to see. So it should be a great matchup when they meet next time. So Brittany Mould with it now. It's 3-0. We've played just on 3. And that was Donnelly just hit the deck there. Did she just catch? Must have caught Ham's foot.
Yeah, she just tripped over Ham's foot.
But
great pressure in the circle there from Condren and Houston.
Just can't find a shooter at the moment.
No, and I think the height and the arms in there of the two of them, and they're two relatively short shooters, and despite the fact that Bingham is very quick and very smart in her movement, when there's long arms blocking every option, it's still tricky to work around.
So a missed shot there by Bingham. Condren with the rebound, fires it out. It's now with Sherlaw. She cracks it across to Abby Houston, being very impressive since she's moved up from the coast. And a loose pass in there. Bell won't get that.
That's the second time Jets have turned over a ball from the Wildcats and then lost it in their attacking end. They really need to, if they do want to match it with Cougars, they've got to learn to settle and capitalise on all of those opportunities.
So this time hot call for the contact on Baird. Courtney Baird was with those aforementioned Cougars last year.
She was, yeah. Obviously, you know, coming to Wildcats, there's a number of reasons that players would leave a team, but she's probably getting a lot more court time here.
Yeah,
plays
indeed.
a much stronger role, you know, and there's a lot. It's a great opportunity for her.
Indeed. So there's the first, goes to Bingham, and the Wildcats are on the board. It could have been a lot worse. Jets not taking all of their opportunities at the moment. So Wildcats hanging tough, 3-1. Bell out of the circle, doesn't go that far on holidays. So
nice patience here from the Jets, working it back and forth to that transverse line and into Bell for a nice settled shot.
So Charlie Bell and Rennie, it's going to be a good tussle there.
Yeah, Rennie's obviously a really physical player. She's not going to let Charlie Bell have any space in that circle. And, you know, having said that, that's the way Charlie plays her game. She likes a bit of physical contact. She likes to know where a defender is.
Speaking of physical
contact, I
contact,
was going to say, speaking of knowing where your defender is, I think Bingham knows exactly where Bridie Condren is right now.
And a shot there, missed again. It's not falling the Wildcats' way at the moment. They'll get the throw in from the side, right-hand side of the court as they face the post. Oh, Hams does well, but I think the shoelaces went offside. Yeah, it's pesky shoelaces.
They'll get in the way every time. Oh, great pressure from Abby Houston, and lovely feed off from Josie Bingham. Wildcats get their second.
So Toya Amaris gets that one, and they definitely needed that goal.
Great pressure there from Brittany Mould off that centre pass. Called for contact. Ball still in the Jets' possession.
So Bell fires it across, and it is going to be a contact call outside on Baird.
It might be another offside even, possibly. Oh, no, it is contact outside.
Sounds like you're doubting me.
Yeah, always.
Not the first person to tell me that. So
Fair.
Probably won't
Should
be
be
last.
used to it.
so Charlie Bell. Funny enough, most of them are women. So Charlie Bell will get a chance. She gets it. It's 5-2. They lead by 3. Biggest lead of the match. They've had it from most of this quarter. And we've got 8:47 to play. A bit of a low scorer, Lucy B.
It is, and I think that's, great tip there from Siobhan Sherlaw. Backed up exceptionally well by Bridie Condren. Jets will have another opportunity to extend this lead. It'll be their centre pass next. If they can finish this goal off, it'll put them very comfortably out in front in this first quarter.
Just a little bit. It's not the flow just yet in the midcourt. You
no,
reckon they're missing
haven't.
Steph O'Brien?
Oh, I don't know. I think they've trained a fair bit in this combination. Steph's a massive asset to this team, as anyone who's watched this competition the last few years would know. They're just resting her. She did play AFL yesterday for the mighty UQ Red Lionesses, and I think they're managing her load, so she's starting on the bench today.
That wouldn't be your team by any chance, would it? The
mighty
mighty
may just
UQ
be.
Lionesses?
Second on the ladder, heading into finals. Very successful.
Stop
you know.
So, got that in there, didn't you?
Had to.
Normally we talk about men's netball, so I'll let that one slide. So, nice shot there to the Wildcats. Margin is 3. They got a chance here to make it 2. 6-3 at the moment. Wildcats just starting to find their groove a little bit now. That'll be Hock out of play.
So, yeah, the Jets were unable to convert that centre pass off that turnover. And those are those opportunities I was talking about. They really need to settle on those if they want to cement these wins, cement these gains. Oh, great rebound there from Toya. And she's able to finish that off.
So Bingham misses a shot. Toya with a putback. Margin 2, 7:22 to play. Wildcats now exerting some defensive pressure. And there it is again. It's turned over.
Picked up well by Donnelly. Contact call on Siobhan Sherlaw, the captain today.
She threw the arm out to slow it down, I'd imagine, and now it falls the way of Donnelly. And quite at the start, Toya, she's not quite now. Misses that shot, though, unfortunately, but she'll get another chance. Looks like it's a throw in Wildcats' way. So 6-4, they score here. They're centre next. We could have a tied ball game, Lucy B.
Yeah, interesting first quarter. The Jets won't be happy with this. They'll want to have come out firing. They don't like to chase.
So they lead most of their matches, so they don't do it a lot of chasing.
No.
So 6-5, Wildcats, they're hanging in there. Their centre now. Looks like they're doing a defensive overload here. I'm not sure what that was in the end.
No, it worked though.
Yeah,
it worked very well.
And they get it straight. Maybe it was a defensive overload. Oh, she misses the first shot again. Gets the second. We're tied at 6. There's 6 and a bit to play. Lucy B, we've seen a bit of a change here. We have, and you know, the Jets were really dominant, but as we said, they just weren't capitalising on all of the turnovers they were able to get. They really need to. Courtney Bear did a really exceptional job there on Hock, was able to get that front position, and Charlie Bell just let the ball go before she saw Hock wasn't an option anymore. The transition here breaks down at the transverse line. It was great to that point. So Wildcats being patient here. Oh, that's a very unfortunate pass. And just throws it in hope. Toya had was really strong in the air there, was able to hold her position, get Abby Houston away from her, pull that ball in. 5 straight to the Wildcats. They now lead it by 1. Boy, do the Jets need a Mizuno momentum shift. Great tip there from Sherlaw, called for contact. It will slow the play down, let their defenders set up again on these Wildcats attackers who are really just running the show at the moment. Baird taking it easy, fires it in. Toya wants it, doesn't get it. They fire it across. This time to Bingham. She doesn't mind shooting it from there. Has missed a couple today and misses that one as well. Doesn't get the rebound, unfortunately. Condren, long arms, pulls it in. Bingham's a really accurate shooter, similar to her sister, I should say. Yeah, runs in the family. Yeah, but you know, the long arms. Posts in their backyard or what? Their posts were quite near my house. I think I mentioned that last when I commented on the USC Thunder games at the. Same joke, just different game. Yeah, exactly. So. No, you know, it's incredible, especially when you're a shorter shooter, which Josie Bingham is. It's really hard to shoot over the long arms of players like Houston and Condren. It's hard for tall shooters to shoot over those arms, let alone someone who's, you know, 20 centimetres shorter than me. So 7-all at the moment. We've seen Steph O'Brien come on into centre. Unsurprising there. I think, you know, it's despite the fact that they do need to manage her load, you do want to stick with what your team knows best. So Hock to the bench. Any other change? No, it's just a straight swap. Yep. And they get a turnover here, and all of a sudden the Jets look like a different team. And was that a step? No, it wasn't. Play on. O'Brien with the big leap in. So great. Charlie Bell coughs in the back from Rennie for her troubles. Umpire has a little chat there. No formal caution. So 9-7, the Jets were down by 1. They now lead by 2. It's their centre next. Don't forget, if you want to join us in the coverage, jump on the HART Sapphire Series Facebook page. Drop us a line. One of my players that I coach, Tanisha Merrick, is watching. I just want to point out to her.
Great ball there. Sorry, I just interrupted you.
You're right. I was just going to wish her well. She just did a deep knee the other night, so she's out for the season. So our thoughts from the team and myself go out to her.
It's a collective netball sigh every time.
She was in the Queensland mixed team as well, so she's missing out on 2 pretty big tournaments and involved in indoor as well. So she's a bit of a netball tragic and season over. So, but she'll be back bigger and stronger. So 10-7 here. Wildcats by 3. Jets by 3.
Donnelly was caught a little bit unbalanced there, and ball was tipped, but
it was
just a Jets throw in.
It's just a bit scrappy at the moment, Lucy B.
Very scrappy. It's a battle of the defences, like we were saying. The ball's going back and forth, and transition through the court is really great. As soon as it hits either attacking end, it gets a little bit scrappy, just like that.
Just like that, yeah, exactly. That's not the Jet way.
No, and you know, especially I was able to come down and actually sit and enjoy the Jets game last week, which was really lovely.
Of course, you're in retirement.
I am very happily retired. Oh, Abby Houston, great drive there from Josie Bingham. Under pressure from Abby. Pulls it in strong and finishes off.
So 10-8, it's back with the Jets. They lead it by 2. Of course, 2 competition points up for every quarter you win. So the Jets in the box position at the moment. So O'Brien strong on and a great feed into Beryl Friday, who does an equally good feed over to Bell. Rennie giving some hassles, but Bell too good on that shot. 11-8. So ball back with the Wildcats. Can they answer?
Oh,
Condren hunting.
Condren. She saw it. Had to go.
She's about a microsecond too slow. Another millimetre on the nails, and she had that.
She would have had that, yeah.
So 11-9. We're inside the last 2. A turnover here will make it interesting for the Wildcats. Houston with it now. Looks in hams. Very stagnant front end at the moment for the Jets.
Great patience here from the Jets, though, just to work it back and forth. I know something that unfortunately does go over the top. Great defensive pressure there from Baird. She's caused a lot of turnovers in that Jets attacking end.
It's going to be nearly a hell ball. Oh, held on for a long time.
Very lucky for the Wildcats to be able to hold on to that and get it out of there.
Condren falls as she takes the intercept. It's still alive. No, it's out. Don't like it when they don't blow the whistle when it goes out.
No, I don't like that rule change.
So, bring back the whistle. So the ball with the Wildcats now. They have 1:14 to get 2 goals and tie this quarter. It's their centre pass next. And Bingham doing her usual mountain of work and draws the 2 defenders out beautifully. Finds Toya, who scores inside the last minute. 11-10. Wildcats with an opportunity. Slow it down, says Baird.
Wildcats will be really happy with this first quarter. They started a little bit slow, but they've picked it up really well, and they've stuck it with the Jets.
So O'Brien called for it. It is the Jets centre next, so they want to take some time off this clock. And, Steph O'Brien gets an intercept anyway. So Wildcats need it back now. We're inside the last 30. Friday looks down, sees Bell, doesn't throw it. Again, back to Steph O'Brien. She finds a partner in crime in hams. Eventually they throw long, way too long.
Far too long. It's those brain explosions, you know, at the end of the quarter you're a little bit fatigued and just making poor decisions, and that's kind of describing the Jets' game at the moment. They're getting these turnovers, they're getting these opportunities, but they're just making really poor decisions with the ball when they've got it.
Oh, no, it came off the Jets. It's gone the other way. Oof. Oh, the umpire, the Wildcats are furious at that call. And I'd have to say it, but it was probably understandably so. Clearly off the Jets player, like she got the entire body on it. So Jets hang on and take the first quarter 11-10. And Lucy B, a bit of a scrappy games thus far.
Very scrappy and quite low scoring really too. Usually you see a little bit higher than this. It's going back and forth. There's a lot of balls over baselines. There's a lot of tips. There's a lot of hands in. It's not a pretty game of netball.
So 11-10 first quarter. We'll be back just after these brief messages. Welcome back to round 8, game 4, coming to you live from Nissan Arena for the HART Sapphire Series for 2021. USQ Jets taking on the Wildcats. My name's Dave Mills, joining commentary by Lucinda Benjamin. Lucy, 11-10 Jets, not the fast-flowing, free-flowing, exciting game we were hoping to see.
No, not at all. And I think, having said that, I think the Wildcats will be really happy with that quarter. They put the Jets have one of the strongest attacking lines in this competition, and they put them under a lot of pressure and forced a lot of errors.
Got some shooting stats for the crew at home. Lucy Bell, that's you. So Charlie Bell, 8 from 9, 89%. Beryl Friday, just 3 from 3 at 100. Toya, 5 from 8, and Bingham, 5 from 8 as well. They're both at 62.5%. So 16 shots to 12, but the Wildcats are down by 1.
Yeah, neither team are really taking advantage of their opportunities, and you'd think that if the Wildcats' percentage was a bit higher, if they were hitting every shot they were able to take, they'd actually probably be quite up on the Jets.
Just got some other stats for the Jets, 64% centre pass conversions, but interestingly, when they get it into the circle, 11 from 11, every time they get it in, they score, so it's just a matter of getting it in there. They're running 100%. Turnover conversion, 4 out of 10, so that's a little bit low. You'd be wanting to be at least 60% in that.
They won't be happy with that. I know the usual targets are over 70 for centre pass and over 70 again for turnover conversion.
So Wildcats 8 from 10 on their centre passes, so that's a pretty good effort from them. So let's see if those figures improve as the game goes on. So we think our crew from UQ, T and the crew, doing a great job keeping us up to date with all those stats. So 11-10. Jets are out there quickly. Oh, geez, there's going to be a delay of game here.
So it looks like we've seen a little bit of a change here. We've seen Cubby go into goal attack with Beryl Friday move into goal shooter. Obviously, Tracy recognised that connection wasn't really working in the attack end, and Cubby and Friday worked really well together last week. It was a very dominant win to the Jets last week, so that's a great combination that worked for them then.
So moving circle, is it, when those two are on?
Yes and no. Beryl can definitely play that holding shooter role, or that post-up role at least, and will pop out at the last moment. And Cubby is very much a moving shooter, I would say.
She's one of the more confident shooters in the league, turns and shoots regularly. So 11-10 was a quarter time. Jets get the first. See how the Wildcats can answer. Can you see any changes for the Wildcats? I can't. I
don't think so, and you probably wouldn't either. That against a team like the Jets to come out only down by 1 in the first quarter, you'd be pretty happy with your team's performance. And I don't think there's, they are doing particularly well as well in all their combinations.
So Condren was on the ground, looked like she was playing marbles there for a minute, but gets up, gives away a couple of obstructions, allows Bingham to get a goal. It's now 12-11. Wildcats hanging tough in this one. So is it an old story? They're sort of bringing the Jets down to their level, as in
yes.
Making it a scrap, because that's what the Wildcats are very good at.
And the Jets don't. Oh. Brooke Hams, saw Beryl over the back, and then probably halfway through passing it, saw Cubby coming along the front and realised that wasn't the pass to give. Picked up really well by Gaia there, I believe. Was that Gaia or was that Rennie?
I thought it was Rennie, yeah. So, but, yeah. And the Wildcats get a chance to convert, and they do, 12-12. So, yeah, the Wildcats love a dogfight, and they're in it right now.
Yeah, and the Jets don't. The Jets don't like a scrappy game. It's a big part of their game to kind of drop to the level, I should say. Not that any team's better or worse than any other team, but they do kind of tend to play to the quality of the team that they're playing against, and they're dropping to this scrappy level of the Wildcats right now.
So 13-12, Wildcats, they take the lead. That's their biggest lead of the game. They've been here twice. They've led by 1. Remembering they started 0-3, so it was really the Jets were out of the blocks a lot quicker.
Still very physical in this circle. Well finished off by Cubby, turns and shoots, and that's the confidence you need. It's tough to get the ball in that circle with Gaia and Rennie. Really physical. When you get it in, you've just got to finish it off.
So Wildcats now, they're struggling to get it in the circle as well. They go right to the pocket. O'Brien will have a piece of that. Gives it to Condren, who was off court. She knows it. Just gave herself up there. So you got to respect that. So, contact.
Great. Oh,
on the
outside. No, I think it was the outside or was it an offside?
We've got Donnelly's actually gone to centre, and the centre, which was Baird, has gone to wing attack. So a little positional change there to the Wildcats. Sorry for my delay in picking that up. And, Toya got collected.
Yeah.
Thought she copped a hand in the face.
No, I think it was more a
ball in the face?
Ball in the air and hands everywhere.
So, Jets with it now. They need to convert here. It's 13-all. Bit of a low scorer. So, So
great option there, great drive from Steph down the court. Feed into Beryl, who unable to finish it off. Picked up really well there by Gaia and Rennie, I should say. It was a bit of a team effort there.
Rennie got the hand in, got up high, and in quick transition, it's gone to Bingham. She's got a chance to tie it up and does, take the lead and doesn't.
Great rebound there from Abby Houston. Just got up above everyone else in that circle really convincingly, pulled it in strong and was able to start a really quick transition there for the Jets. Good eyes there from Beryl to give it to Cubby right under the post, who will finish it off and take the Jets back out to 1.
So I commentated with Cubby last week. Cubby and Rennie are besties.
There you go.
And they're in the circle contesting each other. They go to the same school, and yeah, she said they're as close, as thick as thieves, I think was the words they used. So very close friends. So, and here they are doing battle.
Ooh. Friday obviously a little bit hesitant to take those longer shots. And the defenders can tell that, you know, they're right on any pass-off option. It's getting quite difficult for them to feed off.
So guys out of play, edge of the circle, slightly to the right of the post. Cubby will have a long shot or pass off, takes the pass-off option, but finds no one, and it's a throw-in away of the Wildcats. So they've got a chance of tying it up. We're having a lot of lead changes here. Biggest lead's been 3 to the Jets. Biggest lead for the Wildcats, 1. And they are hanging tough in this one. So now they get some free throw through Bingham and Donnelly.
Wildcats are doing a really great job down there in that attack end. They're quite balanced. They're not as crowded as they were in that first quarter, and that's probably what's giving them a bit more opportunity in that attacking end. Screen
set by Bingham for Toya. She didn't see it. So now we're at the top of the circle, and Toya can't handle it, and away they go. Again, Jets there. Pull by O'Brien.
Going back and forth and back and forth.
Was it like a mark at half forward?
Great drive there from Cubby. Is able to draw that contact call. When you go hard at the ball and commit to it, that's what you get from it.
So Jets pull away to 2. They lead 15-13. Probably luckily to do so. Wildcats had a couple of chances to tie it up. Bingham, beautiful pass in there from Baird. Finds Bingham driving towards the base. She shoots. The post was moving. Someone crashed into it. Into the HART sign. Of course, HART, our principal sponsor, along with Legacy Jewelers, Mizuno, Mount Franklin, I'm drinking their product now, Powerade, they're the major partners. Bondi Vite and Strap It as well. So Beryl home alone under the post, gets another one. It's 16-14. Jets look like they're about to click Lucy B.
Yeah, they really need to step up this game. They're a much better team than what they're doing, what they're putting out on court, I should say, right now. And it's about time they started showing that. So
McKeely Hawks coming up wing defence. Sherlaw's going to goal defence. Condren at keeper. That means Abby Houston's gone to the bench. Pollock not on as yet. A goal there to the Wildcats, 16-15. That was the margin at quarter time. 1, still 1. So Cubby fires it down to Hams.
Much better centre pass there. Got to the edge of the circle a lot easier. Oof.
So Beryl takes a spill. We've got an obstruction call outside.
Call. No, just on the edge. Great work there from Cubby.
Beryl's holding a left wrist in an awkward position. She's like walking towards the bench.
Calling for a sub as well.
Charlie Bell's up. Beryl Friday, left wrist injury at the moment. She doesn't look like she's in the best of conditions. She's blowing hard. Back with the play. Toya misses a shot. She'll get a second opportunity on the obstruction by Sherlaw. And she misses.
Great
Condren rips it up
there from Condren.
In traffic. So
drive there from Brooke Hams to get the ball cleared out down the court. It's getting a little bit congested around that transverse line.
Friday trying to get the feeling back in her fingers there. She's flexing the hands at the moment. Wants the ball now. It goes to Cubby. She'll turn and shoot and scores. So Jets out by 3. That's their biggest lead of the game.
And it's now their centre pass. Opportunity to take that out to 4, which will probably make them feel a little bit more comfortable. A little bit, oh, great work there. Great drive from Cubby. He had great control to finish that off. That was really exceptional from the youngster.
Timeout Wildcats, just as Beryl Friday ran off anyway. It looks like Charlie Bell will be coming back on at the end of this timeout. Bit of twinkle toes being shown there by Cubby right on the baseline.
Yeah, she's such a talented young player. We recognised that last year when she got called up into the Wildcats Sapphire team as well, actually. And she's got a lot of control. She's got a lot of composure for someone so young, and her game is absolutely going to...
We'll listen in and see if we can pick up what the Wildcats are saying.
In attack, we've got, when we're especially on the edge, they're not going to call high up. So you've got to be really strong and really be working to push that ball in. Because if you go and try and snatch that ball in and then they pull it out, it shows the ball what's going on. So don't wait for that one. The other thing too is just have a look. If the ball's coming down this side, Court and Jose, and then it swings to that side, know that Jess is already on the ball side once it swung, so she can't get out. So it might be that you need to clear out, you come up the guts, and that then puts you both up at 45. Does that make sense? So just have a look. It's okay to switch, but then Jess ends up on top of everyone so she can't get out of the way quick
There's
enough.
a couple times you're double playing yourself, and yeah, you see it, but I'm like literally straight there.
Yeah,
So
What do you make of that, Lucy?
Yeah, I think she's pushing them. They really need to drive harder. They need to read off each other better. As Megs was saying, you know, when they do lose balls, it's because they're on top of each other. It's poor delivery. It's someone off balance, and that usually comes from not having a balanced court, not having enough space to work in.
So don't forget, next week we start round 9. We've got some great games. USQ Jets taking on Thunder from 3. That's at Nissan. From 5, QUT are taking on the Tigers. And the Mendy Rays are back home against the Bull Sharks up in Townsville from 6. And at 7, Cougars v Wildcats, Nissan Arena. And the exciting news of that is either side of those games, men's state of origin, Queensland v New South Wales. So 8:30 Saturday night. Get your backside courtside for that one.
Oh, Bridie Condren. Great tip there. Unable to pull it in. It'll be a Wildcats throw in.
So Wildcats still in possession. They've come out of the timeout 4 down. Let's see how they finish the quarter.
Ooh.
Footwork call perhaps.
Maybe.
Condren hitting the deck again. So swing it across. It falls to Bingham. Probably extended her range, but she makes no mistake.
She's got her eye in now. It took her a few shots in that first quarter to get comfortable, but now she's really settled in. She's found her rhythm. She's finishing them off well. So as we mentioned, Charlie Bell back on the court in goal shooter for the Jets. Friday obviously seemed to have a little bit of an injury on her wrist. So we'll see if she comes back on at some point in the game, but that was great work. Charlie Bell probably just needed a little bit of a sit down to watch the game, reset, change up what she was doing, and that little roll on the baseline is her bread and butter, and she executed it perfectly.
So Bingham with the juggle gets caught for replay, and it's back to Sherlaw, who's at GD at the moment. Ball flies across to Hams and Charlie Bell.
Exactly the same movement. It'll get your goalkeeper almost every time.
Indeed, and it's now a margin of 5. Jets starting to pull away with this. Hock has come back on at wing defence. And Charlie Bell turns and, oh, no, can't keep, no, she can't keep it in. I thought she was going to there for briefly.
Great follow-up from her there, good commitment. You know, it would have come off the hands. She would have known it was going out. So, in the air from, hard luck.
We got obstruction.
Hard luck there.
It's those pesky shoe losses again.
Yep.
So Wildcats with it. They're struggling now.
It's always the tall ones who get called as well.
Oh. Yeah, I didn't have that trouble in my career. So, at least obstructing player in the world.
Great play from the Wildcats there. That was really short and sharp down the court. Got it to the edge of the circle and were able to fire it in.
Amaris Toya gets another one. They're back to 4. They won't go away, the Wildcats. So we could use all sorts of lines there, like an annoying stray, the cats stick around. You know. And another one to Toya. Margin 3, here they come, Lucy B.
2 quick ones there from the Wildcats, and the Jets need to finish this off, and they need those quick, sharp centre passes to get it down on the edge of the circle. Great pressure there from Mould on Hams. Lovely triangle.
It was. I do love the triangle offense, and there was an obstruction from behind by Rennie. So Charlie Bell told to go back. Will she shoot? No. Off to Cubby. Cubby will shoot.
Will shoot,
indeed.
definitely.
22-18. We got 4:08 to play. Wildcats just need a little run here to get back into this quarter. So Mould with it.
The Jets are getting really desperate now. Well, desperate's maybe not the right word, but they know they need a turnover. They know they need to force errors, and they know they need to use those opportunities.
Looking a lot more enthusiastic in the defense.
They are. You know, you could see that the Wildcats seem to just want the ball more in this first half, and the Jets are finally stepping up and really pushing themselves.
Slight delay there as the ball went into the Mizuno sign and right down the middle of it. So it took a while to get that one back.
Great pressure there from Sherlaw. Good effort there. leading by example, the captain today.
So Sherlaw out of play on this one. 2-1 in the circle. Can they take advantage? They can. Toya, that had some heat on it. That pass from, I think it was Baird. So boom shakalaka, 22-19. A turnover here makes it interesting for the Wildcats. Jets doing their best. Just can't put this team away at the moment. Long ball in, Charlie Bell.
Great work.
Only player in the league who probably would have pulled that in.
Definitely think so.
23-19. So maybe Junior Levy would have, but no one else.
No.
Difference is 4. Defensive eyes, is that what you mean?
Yes, yeah. And Steph would have seen that. Steph would have seen that goalkeeper, goal defence eyes were down and would have just thrown it and known Charlie was able to get up for it.
Long ball.
Great placement on that ball. That is absolutely exceptional.
Baird cocked the left hand, let it rip to Toya, who gets the goal. Back to 3, 2:38 to go.
They can't pull away, can they, the Jets? You know, they were probably expecting to in this game. And after that first quarter, you know, it was a bit of a slow start. They thought they'd come out firing in the second quarter, and they're still not going their way.
Cubby fires it back to the top. Wants it back, doesn't get
Great
it, but
ball
it goes
there.
to Bell instead. Better option, better result. 24-20, 2:16. Has this surprised you that it's still so close?
Definitely, and I think especially because of the Jets game last week against the Tigers and how strong they were and how, great tip there from Condren, picked up by Hock. This is probably a little bit of a spray there, but this is what they'll want. They need to capitalise on this turnover to extend this lead. Great shot there from Cubby. It'll be a Jets centre pass again now.
25-20, we're inside the last 2. Jets looking for a little run into the half. Cubby gives a whole new energy level when she comes out there, doesn't she? She
does. She's just got such speed and such energy, and her vision's exceptional. She, you know,
someone so young.
Exactly. Yeah,
she's on camera.
Assesses the options. She chooses the right one, and no, she's a very good player, and there'll be much more of her to come in the future, I'm sure.
So margin 6. Wildcats looking for a Mizuno momentum shift. They won't get it there. Spilt by Donnelly, so it'll be a throw-in from the goal line by Condren.
Jets know that they need this one. It's their centre pass next. It's an opportunity to take the lead out to 8 if they can convert this one in the next centre pass.
There's enough time to then Wildcats to take another one and actually get a stop, so it could be like almost a 3-goal swing coming up.
Exactly.
3 for the price of 2 if they keep working hard here. Oh, Charlie Bell, not called for the replay, had it, dropped it, picked it up and scores.
Finishes that goal. Jets centre pass with 45 odd seconds to go. They'll need to be patient and or rush it through and stop the next Wildcats goal.
I think they're going the rushing through option. Mould.
In the back, sir.
Yeah.
Mould.
Gets O'Brien in the air. So, and Cubby cops one from, is that, looks from like Gaia.
The Wildcats defenders were doing, and still are doing a really great job, but Cubby and Bell have seemed to have figured their game out, have settled in a bit. They're splitting them, they're separating them.
So this could work out perfectly for the Jets. They've got 14 seconds here, the Wildcats to score. A foul here would be sensible. Contact on that ball, but they don't do it. It falls to Donnelly. Donnelly's got to find a shooter. She can't. She's hanging on to it. It's come off the Wildcats last. That was great pressure there by Sherlaw. And exactly what we predicted will happen. It'll be Jets coming back. A little late spurt there, 4 straight to them. Gets them out by 8, 28-20. They win the quarter by 7. And it's all Jets at the moment. They're just that little bit of momentum swing late in the quarter.
Literally that last, 3 or 4 minutes where the Jets actually stepped up. They started playing the netball they know they can play. And they've made this scoreline look a little bit more like we were expecting.
A 17-10 quarter gives them a lead of 8. The Wildcats, with it all to do in the second half, will be back straight after these messages from our sponsors.
Did you know that majority of netballers aren't wearing the appropriate shoes on court? Running shoes or generic trainers don't provide the grip and support for the quick, dynamic movements needed in a game. It's time to make the swap with Mizuno.
Welcome back to our Sunday special in the HART Sapphire series for 2021, round 8, coming to you live from a balmy winter's day at Nissan Arena in Brizzy South. The Wildcats and the USQ Jets. USQ Jets just pulled away late in that quarter. They now lead by 8, 28-24. My name's Dave Mills, joined in commentary by Jets former super shooter, one of the triple Bs, Lucy Benjamin. How's it going for you today?
Yeah, pretty well, pretty well.
Are you enjoying the game?
Really
enjoying retirement?
I am, and I enjoy any Jets game I get to watch now as a retiree. I get a little bit less stressed out. So.
Well, we used to talk about the shooters when you were there. Let's talk about them again. Bell, 15 from 17 so far. Beryl Friday, 5 from 6. And Lily Cubby, we were talking her up, 8 from 8. Boom shakalaka, comes out and just drains 8 quick ones. Toya for the Wildcats, 10 from 15. Bingham, 10 from 14. And that's their 20 goals. So they've had 29 shots. My maths is good. That's 14 and 31 to the Jets. So similar volume of shots, but the Jets just a little bit more accurate.
Yeah, definitely. Probably a little bit less pressure over the shot in that Jets attacking line. Sherlaw, Houston and Condren tend to get really heavy pressure over the shot, which would make it quite difficult for Toya and Bingham, who were shorter shooters really in this competition.
Speaking of statistics, Lucy, we've got some other ones here. Infringements, 36 infringements to the Jets, only 17 for the Wildcats. Just the defensive pressure from the Jets causing that, you reckon?
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of penalty calls in, especially in that defensive circle to the Jets.
And the turnover conversion rate, that's so when you get a turnover and score for a goal, for the Jets it's 56%. Wildcats doing a better job. They're at 57. The impressive one is the centre pass conversions for the Jets that are at 80%, 20 out of 25, and 72% for the Wildcats, 18 out of 25. So the Wildcats probably looking for a little higher. Maybe the Jets too. 80%'s not bad. You'd be looking for more, 90.
Better than it was last quarter, that's for sure. They'll be happy with an 80%, but they could be doing better.
So half-time here, and of course we'd like to take the opportunity to thank our sponsors, HART Sports, the principal sponsor. The major partners are Legacy Jewelers, Mizuno, Mount Franklin, love their stuff, and Powerade Sports Drink. Bondi Vite keeps me healthy, and of course Strap It, I use a lot of that just to getting up in the mornings. So they're our official partners. All the pictures today being brought by Gina and the team from Double Take Sport, the best in the business. So
young Lily Cubby on the screen there. I presume that they'd keep the combination the same. At least the Jets would keep their combination the same. They finished that quarter really strong. This scoreline probably isn't indicative of the game that's being played at the moment, but they really just blew out that score in the last half of that second quarter, and I think they'll probably continue that on in this next half of the game.
So this is round 8 of 14, and round 9 is not that far away. June 12th, going to put it out there, it is my birthday, June 12th, so if you get your backside courtside, wish me a happy birthday. So the Jets kick off at 3. They're taking on the Thunder. That would be a good match. Thunder, they've started beautifully in the comp. They've just gone a little bit, they've had some injury worries and a few players playing up, which has hurt them a little bit. And then at 5, QT Netball and the Tigers. That's always a good match. And then at 6, up in Townsville, we've got Mendy Rays taking on the Bondi Bull Sharks. So we'll be doing a joint coverage of that one. Simulcast, is that what we call it? That's in the technical term. And then, of course, on 7 p.m, the big one is the Cougars taking on the Wildcats. If you want to get your tickets for that, we are a ticketed event. You must go to sapphireseries.com.au. And don't forget, we are a cashless venue here at Nissan. So put your money away and just bring your cards or your phone or
whatever you need.
Or another person's card or another person's phone. So whatever gets you to get that.
Any kind of electronic payment.
Indeed, to get that Coke. Which is, of course, part of Mount Franklin Group. And, so it should be some good matches next week. So hope to see you here. Thank you for your support. 26,000 views for a big game 2 weeks ago, which is great. The membership continues to grow. Getting some big numbers on our Courier Mail platform as well. So we really appreciate your support. The more we have, the more sponsors we get. The more sponsors we get, the better the netball. And these young ladies can become more and more professional as we continue to grow in this Sapphire series.
So a few little changes here.
Talk me through them, Lucy B.
For the Wildcats, it looks like we've seen a switch in the attack end with Toya moving out into goal attack and Bingham moving into shooter. Probably just change up the way that circle will work. She'll get on the move around Bridie Condren, which is quite smart. Bridie's not as strong on a moving shooter as she is on a holding shooter. A few changes as well in the defence end with Ali War going into goal defence, and I believe that is Maddie Fallon into wing defence. Brittany Mould into centre, and Baird staying in wing attack there.
So pretty much all but Baird have changed.
Yeah.
Wildcats, and Pollock's come on at wing defence for the Jets.
Great tip from Baird. That was an awesome turnover for the Jets, and then picked straight back up again by Baird.
Looks like Pollock's the only change for the Jets.
Believe
yeah,
so.
Looks like it.
Yeah, Caitlin Pollock coming on into wing defence for the Jets. The attack end unsurprisingly stayed the same. They were, I wouldn't say struggling, but not settling in that first half. And they found their feet in the last 5 minutes of the last quarter. So I'm not surprised that stayed the same.
So they're going all right now, 30-21. So they'd be looking for, I guess, did you used to have targets when you're at the Jets? Like, is it 15 a quarter a reasonable target? Is that where
generally, yes,
yeah.
you would have. I'm not sure what their targets are this year, but there would be targets on centre pass conversion, turnover conversion, and how many goals scored per quarter.
So Toya misses that one, picked up by Condren. She gets a contact call as well. And away go the Jets. Oh, Hams couldn't pull that one in.
Lucky to touch it. Wasn't an over a third. Picked up there by O'Brien and then Bell.
Charlie Bell's knees caught that one.
They probably need to reset now, really settle in. You always have a bit of rush of adrenaline when you get a turnover like that and forces a long ball, which we saw. Charlie Bell able to finish that off, and a Jets centre pass here. So this is where the Jets will settle into their game now, and they'll really finish this game off strong.
So as a coach for me, I don't keep a lot of stats. I find stats sometimes can be a little bit negative, but the one stat I always do keep is the turnover conversion. And Jets currently sitting at 55%. That'd be something that Tracy would be looking at to improve.
They wouldn't be happy with that. You know, you want to turnovers win games basically, and if you're getting as many turnovers as the Jets are getting, this scoreline should be much a bigger gap than it is currently. And
well, they've created 20 turnovers and they've only scored off 11 of them, so at 55%. So I reckon that'll be what have been talked about at half time, and Tracy Jeans Fraser will be telling them to, you know, get that sorted.
It's all about decision making and using the opportunities when you've got them, so. And that's what the Jets haven't been doing this game, and we'll hopefully see them step up in this second half.
So. Bit of a lull in play at the moment. It falls to Bingham. She probably won't shoot from there. Has to kick it back out. Baird standing very flat on the circle. Fires it right across to Brittany Mould, the captain. She fires it straight back to Baird. They've gone literally nowhere. Condren hits the deck on the push-off from Toya, who throws the ball at Condren, probably accidentally, but there was a little bit of aggression there.
She was probably a bit frustrated there, and it's hard not to get frustrated when you're playing against someone like Bridie Condren.
She's annoying.
Yes, she's very annoying on and off the court. No, I'm joking.
Well, I don't know that well.
I love you, Bridie.
No, I can't. You've tacked it.
So really
Two things you can't take back. One of them is a spoken word. You've let it slip.
Great transitional play there from the Jets. Finished off exceptionally well, followed up by a centre pass. Really lovely onto the edge of the circle. And this is the netball we like to see the Jets playing. This is what they've been putting out on court this season, and they didn't do in that first half. 6-1
run to start the third quarter is putting the Jets in a position to win it. They're 13 up at the moment. Remember, the Wildcats have led twice by one. Well, they weren't able to pull away, but they hung tough with the Jets. But at the moment, Jets just starting to fly a little higher.
Shot there from Bingham there, able to slow the momentum of the Jets.
That'll be a Mizuno momentum shift, and they get one back. Hams with it. She cocked the hand. It was going to fly, but it didn't. Eventually they find Cubby. Oh, Bell wore that one on the noggin. Top of the ponytail. That'll be all messed up now.
Should be very upset about that. Throw into the Jets, able to finish up another opportunity, I should say, to finish this off. Cubby working it around. The defenders obviously focusing very heavily on Charlie Bell, which you would, but Cubby's probably pretty happy to run around all by herself.
Well, she was 8 from 8 for the.
Yeah,
she
exactly.
didn't even play the full. Didn't even play the full quarter in the second, and she was 8 from 8. Oh, hello, player down. I think Baird looked like she'd been shot. So Pollock called for the contact.
Headlights.
So,
Ooh,
that
held
pass
ball.
went to no one. And
Great pressure there from the Jets defenders. The Wildcats are, you know, they've got this new combination with Bingham and Toya and Mould coming into centre, and it does, like, it's hard to change 3 players at once because it takes so long to settle into new combinations.
Quite often when you watch the Suncorp Super, people comment to say when you make a change, it's going to be a 2-goal, you know, that you expect 2 turnovers, you know, for the change. Well, they made 6.
Yes.
So, and ironically, it's blowing out. Now we're 13 down. So, but
so it's 2 per player, 2 per change.
It's
there you go.
So, and looks like Donnelly just snuck on there. She nearly stole that ball. She came on for the substitution. So, ball back with Bell in the backspace, and she makes no mistake. 14 the margin. It's pulling away here for the Jets. Steph O'Brien taking control in the mid. It just goes to show you how important Steph O'Brien is to this team.
Oh, she really is. And that's on and off the court. She's such a physical presence on the court, and her skill level is so high, but then she's such a leader off the court as well, and really helps the Jets be the close-knit group that they are.
So the Jets needed something from their leader, and they got it today, and it's 15 the margin now, and only 2 goals since quarter time to the Wildcats. So maybe the move to throw Bingham back to Shooter hasn't worked, Lucy B.
No, it doesn't look like it. I think they miss her out in that. They really miss her in that out in the centre court. She helps to bring the ball down much more than Toya is right now.
So Charlie Bell scores another one, and it's going to be a timeout here to the Wildcats. They need it desperately. Margin of 16 since quarter time. It's a 10-2 run to the Jets. And it doesn't look like stopping anytime sooner, so they're going to go for a momentum change right here.
Yeah, it looks like it, and you know it's tough to call your tactical timeout in quarter 3 because you've got, well, you know, 8 minutes and the rest of the next quarter to go. But they need to change something, and whether that's just a positional switch or to just break the momentum of the Jets.
Let's listen in to Megan Lynch.
So we're sitting in almost like a box. We're running in behind where the player is. So someone's got to come through it, and then someone else has got to come up the guts of it. Mostly when we're down that end trying to transfer it out in a throw-in, they're sort of just setting up in a box on the ball side of the sideline. So someone's got to run out that side. Yeah, because it might be that we swing out that side and then bring it down, but we're all running where they're standing on our sideline throw-ins. Yeah? Prep your feet. Yeah, so I want to see people moving. Where is it, right? And then we go. All right? The other thing too is, with our defence, we're either a second behind or we're on the body and we can't have a crack. So get off and get around, all right, and then cut the line of the ball. Yeah? Let's go,
So what do you make of that? You wanted to get the feet moving and some preparatory acts, yeah?
Yeah, and they need to balance the court much like they were doing in that first half. She's saying they're running into the mess, they're not running into the space that's available to them. They need to be smarter with their movements and deliver the ball to that right option as well.
So McKeely Hawks come back in the centre. She started the game there, and away they go on to Hams. O'Brien, you're right what they say about her, you know, regulating her load at the moment. And that pass has gone to no one. Pollock just threw it. Hock didn't realise it was for her.
No.
So.
Well, I don't think she was even looking at Pollock when it was released.
So
Opportunity here for the Wildcats. They have put Gaia back on into goal defence. Baird back on into centre there, Bingham back into goal attack. So they've gone back to that steady combination that they started with.
Abby Houston's come back on at keeper and starts with an intercept. So Hams pulls that one in.
Lots of changes all around.
Oh, Charlie Bell. Oh, it's loose play at the moment.
I don't think Cubby was expecting that. I think she thought Charlie was going to shoot and unable to pull it in, a bit off balance there.
Like, I know we're sort of joking about it, but this sort of effort wouldn't be pleasing Tracy Jeans-Fraser.
No, I can tell you, like, you know, Tracy's always happy with a win, but, well...
It's the way you win as well.
Exactly. It's the game you play. There's been games you come off after a loss and you're ecstatic because you had the best game of your life and you just got beaten by a better team, and there's games where you pummel them and you get ripped to shreds because you played the worst game of your life. Like, it's the quality of the game, and that's what coaches care about these days and what the Jets are putting out. They've had moments of brilliance, really, really great moments, but,
it's a little bit hesitant in the circle at the moment, but the shot goes in regardless. So 17-39 to 22. And this quarter definitely belongs to the Jets. You can't see the Wildcats getting him back into this one. So
no, not unless they completely change their game and the Jets just, you know, sit down again and finish up where they are now.
It's 11-2 run at the moment since half time. Of course, you can join us, give us a comment, tell us what you think. HART Sapphire Series on the Facebook page. For all the news, views and interviews throughout the week, you can go to sapphireseries.com.au. And if you want to listen to Lucy Benjamin's insights into netball, you can do so on the YouTube channel and watch the games back over and over and over.
And I believe you'll be live streaming next weekend for the men's netball State of Origin as well.
I personally won't be. I'll be coaching,
No.
but yes, the Queensland men are taking on New South Wales in the inaugural State of Origin. We picked this week because it's State of Origin week in rugby league, and everyone's talking State of Origin. So Netball Queensland have come on board and co-sponsored, if you're looking for a better term, and they're on board as well. So we're playing it here at Nissan Arena. 3 games, Lucy B. 9 a.m. Saturday, 8:30 Saturday night, and the big one straight after the Firebirds, 3:35 on Sunday. And Netball Queensland, in their support of men's netball, have offered a discount if you buy a Firebirds ticket. I believe the code is PlayNetball15. You'll get 15% off, and you can have you can watch the Firebirds, have a drink just after, and come back and watch some of the finest male netballers, not just in the country but in the world.
I've watched a number of Queensland versus New South Wales or Queensland versus Victoria men's games in the last couple of years, and they are phenomenal spectacles to watch. If you want to see an amazing game in netball, tune in or show up. It'll be great.
And we're playing some super. Oh, that was a nice play there from the Wildcats. But just to finish what I'm saying, we're playing some super netball rules. So we've got the 2-point shot in play.
Cool.
Where
Siobhan Sherlaw with an excellent intercept there. I'm sorry, I did have to just pay that.
It was pretty good. So we can stand aside for that brilliant intercept. But yeah, it should be. What I'm saying is it's going to be some exciting netball.
It'll be a spectacle.
Get your backside courtside for that. Watch the Firebirds. Stick around. Watch us after. It'll be great. So 41-23, 13-3 run in favour of the Jets since half time. We've got 5 to play here. Hock in the guts at the moment. Kicks it out. So
it's attack line for the Jets. It hasn't been as tidy as it was at the start of this quarter, but at the same time, they're still getting turnovers. They're still using these opportunities. They're disrupting the game of the Wildcats, and they're unable to get any easy goals.
So Bingham with it now. She shoots and scores. There's a Mizuno momentum shift. They needed that one, the Wildcats.
And then they have their centre pass following.
So can they get some momentum out of this little run now? Need to score here. It's important. Donnelly fires it down. Looks like we've had a change of shooter. We have indeed.
That looks like Hannah Blackler on there in shooter for the Wildcats.
It is. So now the margin's 16. So Blackler gets her first. So Toya was pretty good though today.
Toya has been very solid in that circle, especially playing on players like Abby Houston and Bridie Condren. They're both Queensland representatives. Bridie's was signed with the Fever last year while everyone was in Brisbane. They're a tough contest.
It is tough work to get the ball into the circle. Blackler's calling for it. She's holding position well on Houston. Ball falls to Houston, and she is away with the Jets. So Sherlaw does a lot of work in this side. Gets it back now. So Ham's directing traffic out there. Eventually Cubby fires it in. Good
Belch.
contest in the air. Rennie and
Chases
Bell.
scraps up. Cubby on the... just on the edge of her distance. Isn't able to finish it off. Great rebound there from Gaia, who plays it down the court as well. I think they definitely missed her in goal defence earlier in this quarter. She doesn't necessarily get screaming intercepts or anything like that, but she's putting a lot of pressure on up and down the court, Gaia.
So now we're back with Bingham. She's under the hoop, takes a shot and scores. Good little passage this for the Wildcats. They're coming back slowly. So margin is back to, 16?
Brittany Mould in the air. Probably a bit of a pray and hope pass from Cubby to Hams there anyway, and Brittany Mould makes them pay for it.
Nice play here. Bingham and Blackler. And Houston, you could see it with her hands there, feeling where a defender was. Missed by the umpire. They get the shot regardless, 42-27. And Wildcats looking for 4 straight here.
Ooh. Lucky they gave that contact call. It could have easily been a stepping if they didn't want to call it.
I think Donnelly was ready to blow up.
Great tap there from Houston. Chased down exceptionally well by Pollock. Great transitional play as well from the Jets.
Falls to Hock. And
good
Cubby
fake. Gets her a little bit closer to the post.
under the ring.
Wait.
And scores. So the run for the Wildcats comes to an end. It's back to 16. We've got 1:48 to play in this. Remember, it was only 8 at half time, so they've doubled the margin here, the Jets. So
great drive there from Cubby, straight down the base, finishes it off. A nice, easy goal for the Jets there.
Cubby been very impressive today. A couple of stats for you. The turnover conversion rate has gone up ever so slightly for the Jets. They're up to 57. Centre park conversions is 81%, so both those are going up ever so slightly. So Blackler steps in, does a layup, can't get the goal.
It's never a good idea to step in when you've got players like Sherlaw and Houston in the circle. It's better to even step back if you're going to step anywhere.
Step away from the danger.
Step away from the arms. Oh,
get away from the edge.
Hams, great control there, great delivery. Cubby unable to finish it, but gets the scraps of the rebound there. Has a second crack, and will finish that one off.
She does indeed. We haven't seen Beryl Friday come back. When she took that tumble, looked like she was holding a wrist. She's on the bench there. I can't see if there's any strapping
on her knee, actually.
She has that every game, and I asked her about it about 3 games ago, and she said there's nothing wrong with it. It's more just
a mental thing.
Yeah, and it's and I don't want it's prevention more than cure.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
So, and a lot of players do that these days. So they whack the old strap it tape on, and away they go. So. Back with the Wildcats now. We're inside the last 20 seconds. They'll want to score here. Donnelly goes long, long, long. Hock nearly pulled it in. And Blackler contact right on the baseline. She'll have a few seconds here to take the shot. It scores. There's 8 left. It's the Wildcats. They don't want to take this one. So Courtney Baird's too experienced for that. Well, there's the ball. I didn't see it there.
Oh,
what was it doing there? What's it doing there? So the margin is 17. They win the quarter by 9, the Jets that is, and it's 45-28. They sort of pulled away with that one without doing anything spectacular, Lucy Benjamin.
No, not at all. And we said that at the start of this quarter and the end of the second quarter. You know, they're not doing anything wild or crazy or spectacular or taking screaming intercepts, but they're consistent. They're putting pressure on. They're playing smart netball, and they're finishing off their shots.
So with a margin of 17, it's all to do for the Wildcats. Can they eat into this lead and even grab a quarter? We'll find out when we come back from these very brief messages. Welcome back. Last quarter of round 8 in the HART Sapphire series for 2021 coming up. It's the Jets taking on the Wildcats in this last game of the round. Last time these two met was back in round 6. Jets won that one 58-42, and right now it's Jets 45-28. So that streak looks like it's continuing. Head to head, these two teams have met 6 times. Jets lead that one 4-2. Jets 67 last week, beat the Tigers 42, and Wildcats lost to QUT 57-41. So Jets sort of maintaining the same form without doing anything spectacular. Lucy Benjamin.
Yeah, still really patchy though. You know, they've got a solid lead here, but arguably their lead could be a lot greater if they'd been playing the netball they've been playing consistently.
Well, let's talk shooting stats. Bell, 26 out of 29, 90% for the match. Beryl, we didn't see her in the third quarter. She's 5 from 6. Lily Cubby, who had 8 out of 8 at halftime, is now 14 out of 18 for this quarter, at three-quarter time at 78%. Toya, 10 from 16 for the Wildcats. Bingham doing a mountain of work, 15 out of 19. And Blackler, who just came on late in the third quarter, she's 3 from 4. Conversion rate for the, let's look at centre bars conversions, 68% for the Wildcats there, and 79 for the Ipswich Jets. So that's a big difference there, isn't it?
Yeah, they've really stepped up their game. Those numbers were quite different in that first quarter, which was a lot closer. So changes here for the Jets. We've seen Friday come on into goal attack, so we can only assume her wrist wasn't too injured. Great tip there from Caitlin Pollock, able to get up, tip it and pull it in. First turnover of the quarter to the Jets, and excellent pressure there in the circle for Rennie on on Charlie Bell. Sorry, she's been doing a really good job on Charlie Bell. Charlie hasn't had much easy play this game.
Stick around at the end of the match. Lucy Benjamin going down, talking to a couple of the players. So stick around for that. That should be good. So Friday back on. Doesn't seem to be hampered at all by that wrist injury. That's good news for the Jets and for her. So let's see how the shot is. I think it's safe to say there's nothing wrong with the wrist.
No, I think Farrell's wrist is completely fine after that.
100%. Never looked like missing. Nothing but net. So I tell you,
great strong hold there from Charlie Bell. Excellent delivery from Beryl Friday.
About 4 weeks ago, I commentated, and Beryl Friday was back to Beryl Friday Firebird time.
Yep.
You know, so whatever key Tracy Jeans has unlocked, she has done a brilliant job and brought the best out in Beryl this season. So, and it's just what the Jets needed. So the ball back with them now. They're on the circle. They find Bell right on the goal line. And
able to finish off.
She finishes it well. So 47-28, it's all Jets at the moment. Margin now 19. Was 17 at three-quarter time.
It's not easy there for the Wildcats. They're working the ball around well, but the pressure is on from the Jets. They're not getting easy delivery into the circle. Tip there from Sherlaw. Throw in for the Wildcats here. Oh, so much pressure on every pass.
Everything
in there.
is so hard for the Wildcats at the moment, and that's just the Jets smothering them in the defense. So even there, the defenders were behind, and they still couldn't get the ball into the shooters easily.
And that's the height. You know, you just look at the height difference, the Wildcats shooters to the Jets defenders. And as much as, you know, we do like to say that we don't want just, you know, McKeely Hawk read it like an absolute book, takes the intercepts, deliver it straight into Charlie Bell under the post, and Jets are able to convert what was a turnover.
So fortunate for the Wildcats, they got the ball back, gave it straight back through brilliant intercept from McKeely Hawk, as you described. And now again, here they are in this battle, trying to get it in that circle. It is tough at the moment. Obviously missing Brianna Gregory, so she gives them a good holding shooter. So it's proving very difficult for the Wildcats today. Hawk contacted on that one.
Oh, Abby Houston, well read there, does get the contact call. Bingham has a shot, unable to finish it off, but Houston gets that rebound.
Houston, no problem for her. And again, the ball flying down the court for the Jets. Friday gets it near the offensive circle. Brittany Mole does her best to get around, can't call for the obstruction or contact. Bell wants it, still they go to Friday at the front. And the Jets score another one. They now lead by 20. This is the biggest lead of the game. And missed shot here, falls the way of the Wildcats. Geyer with it, looks down, has to go back. And a bit of a zone being played here by the Jets side in the mid-third, like the old five of a dice. Now they've slipped into a little bit of a box zone. Pollock taking Donnelly out of the equation. Well, Donnelly rolls back, gets it back, looks in, can't get it in. Hands there by Sherlaw. This defense from the Jets is superb right now, as it has been for most of the match. Blackler finally gets it, but that took an eternity to get there. She does get the goal, and that's 30 for the Wildcats. 49-30, difference of 19. So a lot of the Jets fans watching, as is Gillian Joyce all the way up in Townsville. Of course, Gillian was the coach of the inaugural Townsville side, the Rays, back in 2019. And now we got the Wildcats working hard. They get it back. Blackler made a difference since she's come on. Gets contacted there. So she was 3 from 4 at three-quarter time in the few minutes she played of the third quarter. And gets another one there. So the ball with the Jets on their centre pass. Marching back to 18. So they've only won the difference for this quarter in favour of the Jets. O'Brien at centre gets us going. She's replaced Hawk. So Steph O'Brien using that great elevation of hers. Finds Bell easily. Bell scores. Of course, if the Jets win this one, which they look like they might, they'll go back in a second on the ladder, chasing down the Cougars. And a long ball in there to Blackler. And she misses a shot. Rebounds fall the way of Donnelly on the outside.
Siobhan Sherlow has something to say about it, though. We'll still get a hand in there and won't let him have an easy pass.
So, again, Blackler, that's her favourite spot. Misses this time. Houston cracks it out to the mid-third. That's just one pass, two passes, and they're in. And Charlie Bell dives and takes a slips catch. That's out. Might have grazed the old knees there.
Probably lucky to get a contact call. I feel like that was just entirely Charlie Bell being an absolute... I won't say.
Probably shouldn't say that on air.
No,
she's rubbing the knees. She might have had a bit of a wood burn there.
Yeah, I'd say
checking for splinters. So, Charlie Bell on the floor. Now someone else has to wipe up a sweat. And we've got it. Well done.
Safety first.
Indeed, indeed. So, 51-31. That was an interesting passage of play, Lucy B.
Oh, look. Got the job done, I guess.
So, a missed shot here from Rennie, but Bell can't get her own rebound. She's copping a fair bit of body on body at the moment, not enjoying it, I'd say.
No, it's very physical in there. And, you know, Charlie Bell's used to that, though. She's used to getting bashed around by goalkeepers. It's her bread and butter. It's what she's got to do in that goal shooter role, but she's also got to get her head out of it sometimes. Oh, Steph O'Brien, pressure on that pass. It'll be a Wildcats throw in.
Steph O'Brien just hung back there and then used her speed to get a hand in.
She's got probably the best closing speed, or maybe not the best. She's probably in the top 3 players with the best closing speed in this competition, and she knows that's an asset. She can read the play and know when to inject herself. Great pressure there from Houston and Sherlaw. They're just splitting that circle so well, forcing the shooters on top of each other. There's nowhere to deliver to.
So forced feed there, falls the way of Blackler. That was like to a two-on-one too. Probably not the best.
But pulled in well again against two players like a Sherlaw and a Houston. It's very strong of Blackler to have pulled that in and finished it off the way she did.
I don't know her very well, but she's a tall young lady and gets up off the ground fairly well.
Ooh,
that one actually just
yeah.
ducked out of play. Must have bounced out. So the ball back with Bingham. Every ball is contested by the Jets. That's got to please the coach, hasn't it?
Yeah, and that's a big hallmark of the Jets game, is to contest everything. Don't let them have an easy ball, and it's the pressure that forces you at the end of the day to miss your shots. It puts you off your game. It questions your delivery of the ball.
Beautiful shot there to Bingham. It's a 6-5 quarter right now. Wildcats trying to get something out of this match. The match has probably gone 18 down with 7:16 to play. With the rule of 11 kicking in, I'd say that one's all over Red Rover, but they are trying to win a quarter, and that'll help. Rennie with the turnover. Transition play, it's loose. Oh, it's loose everywhere, but it falls eventually to Donnelly. A goal here ties the quarter up. And patience being shown. It was on, but it's still patience.
There's great patience here. They're trying not to force balls. They've been forcing a lot of balls in. That's a force ball there, and does get turned over by the Jets. They're the ones you can't afford to put in.
We're on a pretty good angle. We're on a better angle probably than the umpire on that one. But you could see Sherlock just literally almost hanging on to the defender. So that sort of stuff's been missed by do they let that go now?
They generally let it go. Like, in all honesty, the conversations that we get umpires into training pretty regularly and get a lot of umpire coaching. And, you know, if it doesn't directly affect the play of the ball, they'll let it go. And if the perception of the umpire is that you are actually strong enough to take that contact, if there is a bit of contest, if you're a strong enough player to hold that space, then they'll let that play go as well.
So timeout called here by the Jets. We are at a 7-5 quarter at the moment. Jets leading it by 2. So Chasey Jeans-Fraser just wants to talk about the last 6:08. And this will be the last time out of the game. So let's listen in to see what TGF has to say. And we won't be listening into our cameraman's changing battery packs. So you're good at lip reading. What would TJF be saying? She's saying one that...
That doesn't actually help because she just does that all the time.
I think she's saying the commentary crew up there is number 1.
Yeah, I would say
They're doing a great job. Yeah. Yep. Millsy and Bell, Benjamin do a really good job in the comm box. That's what I'm hearing. We're listening in now.
Let's make sure that we're nice and strong onto the ball. Hit the ball flat, let's do the double plays, okay?
there, Lucy B.
Yeah, so that's classic. That's the way that Tracy likes her teams to play. She likes really direct play. She doesn't like big floaty balls over the top. That's what's getting intercepted. She wants her players to go hard at the ball and
Direct
have an
punch
option.
up the middle, I heard her say. That's what she's referring to, like the direct pass.
That's the one.
Megan Lynch there, pretty animated with her team, not happy with what she's seeing. Probably just trying to motivate them for this last 6:08 to get the 2 competition points. 7-5 down in the quarter at the moment. So if the Jets win this one, they take all 18 and leap up to second place on the ladder. They will go to 119 points. So the Cougars picked up 16 yesterday, so they're on 137.
Oh, great tip in the air from Houston. So we've seen Bridie Condren coming on into goal defence. Her arms out in that mid quarter are going to be pretty dangerous, I would say. The speed of Bingham, though, she's pretty effective out there anyway. We've also seen Beryl come into goal shooter for the Jets.
And Cubby's come on to goal attack. So there'll be lots of movement here. There it is. You can see the movement already. So, and Cubby,
great option.
Holds
it to the last second. Passes off.
Ditched it off beautifully. Held on to it for quite some time.
Finger on that for Condren.
That's what you're talking about.
Donnelly's able to pull it in on the edge of the circle, and edge of the court, I should say. Contact call there on Steph O'Brien. And the forced delivery. Houston's going to get a finger on that every day of the week.
They're making it hard for themselves at the moment, the Wildcats. Margin 19 and 17 at three-quarter time. Bingham steps back, misses, and Condren picks up the rebound. 4:49, they really need it. Now look at the pace here.
That is excellent transitional play. It's so hard to defend a ball when it comes flying down the court that quickly. Oh, excellent screen set there by Beryl Friday. Well read by Cubby. Unable to finish it off. Looks like it'll be a Jets throw in. I'll have another crack at this.
So it's a Jets throw in on the goal line. So it was out way down there. So Cubby missed the shot, still with the Jets. Friday with it, showing no ill effects of that injury she had in the second quarter, and Wishka gets another one. Margin 20, the biggest lead of the game has been 20, so they're there again, the Jets. So 54, last week they scored 67, so a little bit down on numbers at the moment.
But that just shows the defensive pressure that the Wildcats have been putting on here. You know, the scoreline isn't really indicative of the game that we've been watching. The Cats have really pushed the Jets to play their best netball, which they actually haven't for a lot of the game.
So Cubby will have a chance to extend this lead. She gets it, and that is the biggest lead of the match, 21. Jets finishing with a flurry, 55-34. Wildcats with 3:33 to try and get something out of this game, at least finish on a strong note, even if they don't pick up 2 competition points.
Oh, good pressure pulled in by Fallon, sorry.
She's gone to centre, Madison Fallon. And looks like we've got a problem here with Donnelly. Might have copped a slight strain on the calf, perhaps.
Just a stinger. She'll walk it off.
She'll walk it off, well done.
Yeah.
Well, she's tough as teak. She ran into a wall up in Morayfield and played 2 weeks later with a cast on her hand. So she doesn't mind the tough stuff. So back to 20, 55-35.
Oh, great smart play there from the Jets. Really quick ball movement. Got the heads of the defenders swinging, and they were able to deliver it straight into Cubby, who shot it to Beryl under the post there. Good pressure here from the Jets. Abby Houston tips that ball, chases it down, delivers it to Cubby, manages to keep it in court.
So we've got a footwork call on O'Brien. So interestingly, just infringements. Wildcats have only done 34 infringements to 58 for the Jets.
I think that relates to what we were talking about earlier, in that the Jets are contesting every single ball. You know, and yes, that is going to result in more obstruction and more contact calls, but at the same time, it's more doubt, it's more turnovers, it's more pressure.
So O'Brien gets it, finds Pollock. Enjoying some extended minutes in this game. And Beryl Friday shoots again. She has looked $1 million this season. 57-35, margin 22.
Really settled into the Jets club. It's a great club to be a part of, and she's obviously loving it there.
Indeed she is. So maybe it's that strapping tape that she has on her knee. Has it every game. So margin 23 now. It's falling away here for the Wildcats. They won't win this quarter. So 18 competition points will go to the Jets, and they'll get themselves back into second place. They'll be 7-1 after this one.
A pray and hope pass picked up by Bridie Condren. Unsurprisingly, if she's floating out in that hot spot right in front of the goal circle, it's likely she's going to get a hand on something, and she does. The Jets work it down the court, and Brooke Hams absolutely threads that needle to Lily Cubby on the baseline. They finish off for another point.
So a minute to play, margin 24. Jets finishing quite strongly here, pushing the 60 boundary, and they don't get on this time. They'll have another chance with a minute to go, and they'll have another chance right now.
Great tip
Cubby.
from Lily Cubby. Maybe she was a little bit close and the umpire missed it, but
she's making the stadium her own Cubby house.
Oh, God,
I know,
that's terrible. Yeah.
So 60-35. It's not mine, that's Lee's.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I'm not that quick. So Donnelly with it now. They're looking for another goal here. The Wildcats want to finish on a little bit of a positive.
Great pressure here from the Jets. You know, they know they've won. They know they've won this quarter as well, but they're not letting the Wildcats have an inch.
So 16-7 quarter time. There was only, 9 to margin, and it's blown out steadily. 28-20 at 11-10, sorry, the first quarter. So it was only a margin of 1, and then it's just blown out from there, unfortunately. 28-20 at half time. A 17-10 second quarter really gave the momentum to the Jets. So as we finish with a Mizuno momentum shift, the Jets win by 24, 60-36. Lucy, the Jets, they weren't spectacular, but they got the job done, and that's a sign of a great side.
They did, yeah, they definitely did. Like we said, it's that consistent play. They were much more consistent than Wildcats. They were much safer than the Wildcats. They had better decision-making than the Wildcats. And while Wildcats really pushed them, that's what wins games.
So you're going to head down something new we're trying today. You're going to head down with the microphone, get a couple of the stars. Do you know who you're talking to, or you're just going to grab one of the famous people?
I presume the captain from each team, but I haven't been told. So, look, it's a surprise for everyone.
So I'll sign you off now. Thank you for your time. We appreciate you coming up into the box. We hope to see you again soon, and happy interviewing. So we'll just go through a few of the game stats for this while Lucy gets in position to talk to some of the stars. Centre pass conversion, the Jets built that up to 84, 41 from 49. The centre pass conversion for the Wildcats, 69, 34 out of 49. The big one for me, circle entry conversions, 90%. So 90% of the time that the Jets get it into the circle, they score from it, whereas that slipped down to 78% for the Wildcats. Conversion turnovers, turnover conversion percentage, 66% for the Jets. So they got that up nicely because that was in the mid-50s by half-time. So they've done well in the second half, whereas the Wildcats dropped down to 52. So that's pretty much it. The infringements, 35 to the Wildcats, a whopping 61 to the Jets. So nearly 2-1 on the Wildcats infringements. They were much cleaner, but the Jets got the result by 24. Don't forget, next week we start round 9. Where all the games are on Saturday, June 12th. USQ Jets and USC Thunder, they start us at 3, so we'll be on air at about 5 minutes to 3. QUT and Tigers at 5. Mendy Rays at home to the Bull Sharks at 6, so we'll be co-broadcasting that one. And at 7, it's the Cougars versus the Wildcats. Of course, our good friends at Double Take Sport will be covering the men's State of Origin next week. 3 games will be on air just before 9 a.m. on Saturday, just before 8:30 p.m. on Saturday night, and the big one after the Firebirds on Sunday, 3:35. Yeah. So let's listen in to Lucy.
All right, I am here with Brooke Hams from the Ipswich Jets. So it was a convincing win at the end, but probably not your best performance. What do you take out of that game?
I think for the last couple of rounds we haven't started too well. So we've done that again today, but we continue to build through the season. So last year we probably dropped when we were that low, and I think we've built the whole game today, which is nice.
No, it was really good, consistent play, and your combinations are obviously settling in throughout the season. Are you confident going into this second round?
Yeah, quietly. I think, as I said, we've built so much throughout the first 7 games, and especially in that attacking end with the new shooters. It's definitely getting better the last 2-3 games. It's really nice.
Awesome. Thanks for chatting.
So that was Brooke Hams, former teammate of Lucy Benjamin there. Pretty happy with the way things are going. They say they're building each week, so they're getting pretty excited, looking forward to playing the Cougars in the coming weeks. And that should be a match to watch as they form their huddle there. Big smiles, particularly from the assistant coach there, Nicole Grant. She's pretty happy with everything by the looks of that big smile on the dial. And I think Lucy's going to talk to someone from the Wildcats shortly. In the meantime, I'd just like to take this opportunity to thank our sponsors. Our principal sponsor, of course, is HART Sports. Legassic Jewelers, Mizuno, Mount Franklin and Powerade, they're our major partners. Bondi Vite and Strap-It are the official partners. Double Take Sport, Gina and the team bring us the pictures every week. And our stats from T and her crew, they do a great job keeping me up to date with all the stats. Big smile there from T, so she's pretty happy, and we appreciate the efforts that she does. There's the Jets getting this celebratory team photograph. It's become a big thing, this, getting the photograph after every game. And we're just waiting for Lucy to get in with one of the Wildcat players. Megan Lynch having a chat, so she wants to talk to them first, but as soon as Lucy can, we'll be talking to someone. Next week, don't forget, 3 games. It's all exciting, and of course, the men's State of Origin. Stick on all the socials. You'll see it all over this week. There's another State of Origin in town, not just the rugby league. So it's been a great weekend. We've had 4 games already, and this competition is flying by. Round 8. It started yesterday at 3 p.m. QUT 62 over the USC Thunder 43. QUT, they're starting to peak at the right time of the year as well. Cougars 72 over the Mendy Rays 53. That game was a lot closer than that score. It was only 4 at one stage. We'll listen in to Lucy.
I am here with Brittany Mould, captain of the Wildcats. Now, Brittany, I don't think that scoreline really represented how the game that you guys played. What do you take from that, and what are you going to try and implement for the last couple of rounds of this competition?
Yeah, look, I think we started the game really strong. Our first quarter and the first half of our second quarter was really strong, but I think we just need to find that consistency to take it to the second half and just push through the whole 60 minutes. Yeah, there were absolute moments of brilliance from you guys and then some absolute moments of a mess, and it's probably that consistency. You've got a lot of new combinations. Are you developing as the competition's going? Yeah, absolutely. I'm really proud of our team. As you said, we started pretty much a new team, new players. So from the start of the season, we have really developed and we're building and we're still growing. So even though tonight's scoreline doesn't represent, we didn't get the win, but I'm still really proud of the team and I can't wait to see how we keep going through the rest of the season. Well done. I can't wait to see what you put out in the next couple of weeks. Thanks, Brittany.
So Wildcats captain Brittany Mould, after the big team talk, has a chat to our player, our commentator, Lucy Benjamin. That pretty much wraps up round 8. It was wins to QUT, wins to Cougars, Tigers, and of course you just watched USQ Jets. We're back next week, just on air, just before 5 to 3 for the Sapphire Series round 9, and of course State of Origin for men's. Make sure you stay tuned for that. My name's Dave Mills. I've been joined in commentary by Lucy Benjamin. It's bye for now, and as always, people, be brilliant.